Alright, hey guys, and welcome back to another video in my Mira's Finest series. This time I'm going to be taking on Gradivus using HB, and as per usual, we kind of talk about how HB plays as a character both in a team and a solo setting, as well as his strengths and weaknesses, then kind of talking about the build that I have for today. So HB is not a great character overall. His main role in a team setting is being a trash talk using tank who can support the party with topple and last stand for TP support. But overall he kind of falls short on this due to his lack of a reflect aura, which both Lin and L have, as well, who are also fill the role of trash talk tank. And just overall he doesn't really have a whole lot of damaging arts to kind of back up his TP support like Arena does. If you want to try and condense those two roles into one team slot, HB is here, I guess. Let's kind of get into HB's arts and kind of talk about what he is capable of. So for his defensive auras, he has access to Flame Hand and Iron Prison, which grant you a spike, as well as attribute resistance and physical resistance up, respectively. Iron Prison's overall a pretty decent aura, but it is a bit situational as not all enemies are going to be using physical attack or physical attribute attacks, which means that it's kind of situational compared to Reflect auras, which can be used as just a stopgap for basically all attacks that don't pierce Reflect. As I mentioned before, he has access to Taunt arts, Trash Talk being the main one, but he also has access to the Decoy round. And for his other party support arts, he has access to Last Stand to funnel TP into his allies, as well as Shield Wall to grant barrier to him and nearby allies. Aside from that, he does have access to a topple art in the long topple skill, so if you want to run him as a topple, he can do that quite well as well. Though it is a bit unfortunate that he does not have access to Assault Hammer, even though he has a Assault Rifle. So now let's talk about HB offensively. His only offensive aura is Gun Force, which on its own is a pretty good aura, boosts range attack, critical chance, and reduces secondary cooldown. But the problem is HB has no good ranged arts that benefit from this. The only arts that benefit from it are Takedown Shot and Fierce Blast, which neither of them do a lot of damage due to not getting extra damage out of the secondary cooldown bonus. And for his melee DPS arts, he has access to Wild Smash, Atomic Hit, and Bombardier, none of which are amazing arts. So because of that, HB's only really good offensive art is Burst Grenade, which isn't even that great on its own. It has decent hit scaling and does extra damage to toppled enemies, which synergizes well with him being a toppler, but on its own it's not incredible. It is worth knowing that Atomic Hit and Wild Smash are not bad arts, they're just also not enough to carry him on their own. And I guess the last thing worth noting here is that HB also has access to Power Dive. This grants supercharging, gives you total evasion during execution. This can be useful for boosting the damage of his single hit arts like Burst Grenade and Atomic Hit, but overall it's not great. So now let's get into his skills, because he does actually have a few skills worth noting. So, as far as his noteworthy skills, he does actually have a couple of decent skills for tanking. He has Steel Flash, Combat Present if you want your taunt to last longer, Shield Screen, Trauma Tension, and Double Spike, which all synergize well with his defensive attributes. And as mentioned, he does have access to Long Topple and Topple Toppler, which can be useful for topple locking. His last skill is Mighty Muscle, which synergizes well, which can work well with Atomic Hit and Wild Smash, but as I mentioned before, those aren't the best arts in the world, so I don't know if you would want to, in general, run a super offensive melee build on him to make use of this. So that's about all I have to say as far as general, so let's go ahead and get into the build I'm going to be running. So the build I'm running is kind of basic. The area resistances don't matter because I'm going to be topple locking Gradivus. You can take a look at my gear now. Basically, I'm just trying to stack as much potential as I can to increase my damage as much as possible, while still having 3 resistance reducer XXs to make sure I can topple them with ease. There's not really a whole lot more to my gear. The attributes of my weapons don't matter because Flame Grenade is thermal. And for my arts, Gun Force is my aura of choice. The secondary cooldown reducer is the only thing here that really matters. And I'll kind of be getting to that a little bit later as I get into the fight. Power Dive is the only green art I'm running. It'll boost the power of Burst Grenade and also will help me build Overdrive count quickly in conjunction with Furious Blast, while down's my topple. Decoy Round is my purple art to build TP. I'm using it over Trash Talk because it gives 300 TP per mile level as opposed to 200, and then Burst Grenade is my DPS art. Then for skills, Mighty Muscle and Steel Flesh don't do anything in this fight, and Topple Toppler and Long Topple let me topple lock easier. With all that out of the way, I think I'm going to go ahead and get into the fight now. Alright, so sorry about the cut there. Something came up in real life while I was doing the fight, and I had to take care of that, so I'm just going to be redoing the fight. So, essentially, go and open the fight with the topple, then just immediately start the overdrive and just start building overdrive count. Using Power Dive and Fierce Blast while using Decoy Round to keep up your TP and Wild Down to keep Gradivus toppled. Shouldn't take long to get max overdrive count. Hit already there. Now I'm just going to go ahead and set my aura, get some TP. Topple the next time he tries to get up, and I can just start my DPS rotation. So because I mentioned it before, the reason why the secondary cooldown reducer is so nice for this is that it makes it so that, or the secondary cooldown reducer from Gun Force is so nice is that it makes it so that Power Dive will always have the secondary cooldown ready, and Burst Grenade will always have the loading. The tertiary cooldown ready for each topple cycle, which is very nice, and just makes the topple cycle line up with the art rotation a lot better than it otherwise would. And that's really the only thing of note that I have to say about this build. It's just going to be me using the same art rotation until Gradivus eventually dies. And because of that, I'm just going to kind of go quiet unless there's something worth mentioning or I feel like I have something to add. And in all honesty, you can feel free to either skip to the end of the video or just leave the video at this point, because I can guarantee you nothing interesting is going to happen for the rest of this fight. Unless you really like hearing HP say the word superior, that is, then a lot of interesting things will happen. So as Gradivus approaches 50% health, something that's worth mentioning is that around now, if he gets up, he'll activate an enraged aura, where he'll become immune to topple, which basically means that if he gets up, this fight is completely over, like there's no way to recover it. And yeah, there's not really a whole lot more to it than that, just thought I would make note of that now.
Now for a buff. Superior wild down. Superior dive. Here we go. First grenade. Superior decoy down on the repair. Superior wild down. Superior dive. First grenade. Superior unequal pull. Open fire. Superior wild down. Superior dive. First grenade. Superior decoy round. Check this out. Here. Feel like stack up the hits. Move it for the kill. First grenade. Superior decoy round. Superior decoy round. Superior wild down. Now sled and stay down. Superior decoy round. Superior decoy round. Superior wild down. Superior dive. First grenade. Check this out. Here. Close quarters. Grenade. Now sled and stay down. Superior decoy round. Superior decoy round. Superior wild down. Superior gun force. Superior dive. First grenade. Superior decoy round. Here we go. Superior wild down. Feel like stack up the hits. Move it for the kill. Superior decoy round. Superior decoy round. Superior wild down. Open fire. First grenade. Superior decoy round. Check this out. Here we go. Superior. Now eat lead and stay down. Superior decoy round. Superior decoy round. Superior wild down. Stack up the hit. Move it for the kill. First grenade. Superior decoy round. Check this out. Forward, back in front. Overdrive. Superior dive. First grenade. Superior decoy down while they're in pair. Superior wild down. Superior dive. First grenade. Superior decoy round. Check this out. Here we go. Now sled and stay down. First grenade. Superior decoy quarters. For me. Superior dive. Burst grenade. Superior decoy round. Superior decoy round. Superior wild down. Superior dive. Burst grenade. Superior shoot down while they're up there. Superior wild down. Superior dive. Burst grenade. Superior decoy round. Superior decoy round. Superior wild down. I'm on a roll. Open fire. Burst grenade. Check this out. Sure. Close quarters. Works for me. Superior dive. Burst grenade. Here we go. Shoot down while they're up there. Superior wild down. Superior dive. Superior gun force. Much better. Now for a buck. Superior wild down. Superior dive. Burst grenade. Superior shoot down while they're up there. Superior wild down. Superior dive. Burst grenade. Superior decoy round. Superior decoy round. Superior wild down. Now eat lead and stay down. Check this out. Sure. Superior wild down. Superior dive. Burst grenade. Superior decoy down while they're up there. Superior wild down. Superior dive. Burst grenade. Check this out. Force back. Poke rod. Superior wild down. Superior gun force. Superior dive. Burst grenade. Superior decoy round. Superior wild down. Superior dive. Burst grenade. Superior decoy. I stack up the hits. Move it for the kill. Furious blast. Check this out. Sure.
Well, that was an unfortunate miss. You know, honestly, I don't care enough to do this fight again. That was a 12.5-minute fight just for it to die at the end due to missing a wild down. So yeah, I'm not gonna be bothered to completely redo the fight over that. So yeah, I guess this is gonna be the first one where I don't actually kill the super boss, but I honestly can't be bothered. HP is bad and he should feel bad. So if you actually here at the end of the video, thanks for watching, I guess, and I will see you guys next time.